So that's kind of a virtual me. Someday this will be very commonplace. Everyone will have fish swimming around them and floating around in the ocean like this. And then there I go, swimming up to visit you guys. But the quality of this scan and the capture is uncanny. And I do a lot of work within this field, and this level of fidelity of digital human and what you saw there is pretty amazing. So we had success on the first one. Now, if everything else goes bad, just remember the first one worked. You never really see what it really looks like in these headsets. Number one, because it's actually really hard. Because the way that these headsets move light around is hard to put a traditional video camera and just try and capture that. But because I thought I would take a risk or basically welcome you all to the largest, slowest moving train wreck of all time if this thing goes bad, I'm sure you all recognize this device. I'm going to start with this one. This is the Microsoft HoloLens. I'm a big fan of this device in many ways. What I will tell you before I kind of go on through everything is that I think we're on a curve here. And everything that I'm using today is somewhere on this curve from wrong to right. It kind of is leaning still on the wrong side. So everything that we're doing, while the essence of it is amazing and where we're headed with it is really, really valuable. So what we did is we rigged up on the HoloLens, without getting any permission from Microsoft or anybody, a little tiny camera right in front of one of the eyepieces, which took me a little experimentation. And it looks a bit sort of like Unabomber style with all this stuff going on here. But I'm going to put it on. And if all goes well, I'm going to boot it up. And now we're going to switch to the feed, which is basically a wireless feed to a camera, a cell phone running a camera. So now you should probably see what I see. Is that right? Yes? OK. So I'm going to launch an application that I actually really like a lot. And if you haven't had a chance to do this and you can get access to a HoloLens, I recommend it. And you see what I'm doing here in terms of how to use it. This is an application called Fragments, which is really interesting. As I like this entertainment experience, and I thought I'd show this to you because this was a really formative piece of entertainment for me in the HoloLens. I get to do this stuff for a living, which is sort of fun and interesting. So I thought I'd show you a little bit about it. So it's loading up what it wants to do. And this is essentially like a 4 to 5 hour experience where you live inside a crime drama. So if you can see this person, now to me, he feels, even though he's pixelated and sort of computer generated, he feels pretty real to me. He's really standing on the stage. I can come right up to him. I'm building this thing. Can you guys see it? Is it all kind of working? OK. So I'm trying to bring that into focus, which I did. And there's a rat on the stage now, and there he goes. Now, one of the interesting things about the HoloLens is that you're seeing probably like a border around the device. The HoloLens, one of its limitations, which isn't really a criticism, it's just a limitation, is that the field of view is a little narrow. But what I see is because in my environment, what I'm looking at, the transparency of the field of view is really good. You're seeing it through a camera, so you're probably seeing more of the box than I see. But if you let your brain kind of accept the fact that you're kind of peering into a window on the world, you can start to really build an interesting entertainment environment. So you see all this stuff is kind of happening around me, right? So that was step 2 of our little world of mixed reality, and you can build this yourself if you want. You can buy this crazy little camera and stick it on there like this, and so far so good. It worked-ish, right? Yes? OK. Next on our little tour, so now what I'm going to do, much to the chagrin of the AV team, which, by the way, has been amazing to figure all this out, because when I came in a couple days ago and said, yeah, I got no slides, I'm going to bring like 30 different devices, and we're going to all try and connect them up and make something magical happen, they were all like, OK, that sounds fun. We'll give it a try, as opposed to what they probably would have done in any other case and just like freaked out and went, we're not doing that. So I'm going to now try and unplug this phone. And I imagine the frame rate was probably a little hinky. Because it's a wireless connection on this big stage. Very light and very comfortable to wear. Now, given I still look a little like a Terminator, right? So we're getting there. Remember, still a little bit wrong, but getting more right, which I'm very enthused by. So this is a device that I sometimes get to wear on an airplane, and I watch a movie while everybody else is busy watching it on a little screen like this. I've got my own little personal high-res theater, which is pretty great. OK, so that's the ODG. 2 for 2. Pretty good, right? All right, next on our little cavalcade of fun, we are going to show you this. So these devices are relatively costly, right? The HoloLens is about $3,000. The ODG, don't quote me on this. They'll tell you what the actual prices of an R9 and an R8, but it's in the $1,000 or $2,000. The other route you can go to get legitimate augmented reality is you can use something called a Mira device. And does anybody know this? Have you seen what this is? Okay, so this is a really cool device. It can kind of like packable, right? You can sort of do this with it. And it basically just mounts an iPhone, or eventually an Android phone, inside this like head-mounted sort of rig like this. You pop it on, you turn it on, and I'm going to launch and show you. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kind of go low-tech. So I'm just going to use the camera. If you want to just boot up the regular camera on that, or I can do it. Yeah, we can. Let's see. Let's go this and throw this away. And just open the camera. And OK. This device you should pay attention to, because this device, they don't have a price for it yet, but I think, or it's actually, they've announced, I think it's probably under $1,000. It has an extraordinarily wide field of view. And they're running it off a laptop now, and it runs off Steam VR. You wear it like this, and it's super comfortable. And I am actually looking at this crazy sort of world, and the field of view is extremely wide. So I would say check these guys out, kind of coming to an AR world near you. So that's that. OK, so this is a product called DigiLens, which is an OEM product that's going to go in lots of devices. And they've basically found a very way to make this extremely light and extremely small, and they printed the visual onto this. And this is mounted in a motorcycle helmet now to do augmented reality, and it's fantastic. So that's what I had to show you. We actually kind of got through most of it. Thank you for coming, and enjoy the rest of your day.